Hi, this is a video response for Modac42. I'm not in the contest because I wasn't a subscriber until I heard about the contest. But I did want to respond anyway because it's an interesting question. You were saying like 3 good things and 2 bad things about the place you live. Well, I live in Western Washington, sort of the Seattle-ish area where most of the population is. And this is in a county called King County. And if you want to pay property taxes, this is the place to go. There are worse places like New York State and New York City and all those insane property tax places. But it's not as bad as there, but it is significant. I own a condo which is worth about $100,000 and I pay about $1,700 a year in property tax. Yeah, approximately that. So it's kind of high. But that's just King County. If you get outside of King County, like go north to Snohomish or south, I can't remember what that county is, Pierce maybe. But in any case, there are other options. Well, let's see. I was looking at some property up here, like right around where 405 and I-5 come together. I found a really nice place on a couple acres for $165,000, and the economy around here pretty much supports that type of property valuation if you have a reasonably skilled job. Now, if you work at McDonald's, you're never going to, of course, be able to afford property. Okay, so good things. Once you get outside of the Seattle-ish area and go like north or west, you can find fairly conservative people, but there's a lot of leftish people here, and in fact I was one of them until around 2006. But anyway, so there are people that are in your sort of political spectrum. But if you get it into the Seattle area, we're talking liberal city, pal. One good thing is Washington State supports the Second Amendment. You can just trot right down to the police station and sign a few forms. Then a couple weeks later, you'll get your concealed pistol permit, and they cost you about $60. And basically, it's a pretty painless process. I was quite surprised pleasantly about that. So let's see, good things. Fairly Second Amendment-ish, still a functioning economy, and once you get outside of King County, the taxes aren't too bad. Bad things. Well, people around here are kind of tight, kind of like in a lot of big cities, people get kind of like standoffish, very high-tech people around here, and I'm the worst of the bunch, pal. I just had an uncontrollable urge for a big, huge, juicy steak a little while ago, so I went down to a place called Jimmy Mac's Roadhouse, where they throw peanut shells on the floor and it wouldn't be surprising to see somebody with a cowboy hat on in that place. But anyway, they make an awesome steak. So I went down there and nobody even batted an eye when I put my big Bluetooth headset on and popped open my cell phone to watch YouTube videos while I was eating my steak. I mean, there were about a third of the people there were there by themselves. They were like, one lady was reading a book, another lady was doing something, yeah, so it's fairly non-social city. So, down negatives. Well, King County, high property tax, very high-tech sort of socially retarded people. And it's like if you meet somebody or you're in an elevator or something, it's like they're like, it's another person. What do I do? Oh, don't look at him. Maybe he'll go away. That sort of thing. So, but once you get outside of King County, I don't know, maybe it'll get better, but I pretty much am a King County person. So, those are negatives. Gas is kind of high. The sales tax is like 9 and something %, so it's up there. And the income tax is non-existent. We had a bunch of wealthy, rich people saying, oh, we should have an income tax. Oh, yeah, for the people. And then, of course, they get their money in stock options and things that are not taxable, and the majority, the rest of the people would, of course, be taxed at. Every last little bit of their income is taxable. So they're all perfectly happy to say, oh, yeah, we really need an income tax, and oh, boy, we're so wealthy, we are noble for wanting one too, but the truth is they wouldn't be paying it for a lot of their tax. So basically, and that, of course, the voters saw through that BS and voted it down. So it's a fairly intelligent electorate too. So negatives, high property tax in my area. Sales tax is like 9 and something %, and the people are kind of gray, kind of like the sky. Every once in a while you see a little break in the clouds and and actually a little color. Wow, look at that. Whoa, color. Anyway, the people are as gray as the skies a lot of the time. Except for Urban Prepper. He's pretty cool. So now let's see, and the downfalls are, of course, property tax and all that. Good things are a functioning economy, not too terribly crowded, outside of Washington State, fairly decent tax levels, except for sales tax, of course. And I guess that's about it. So, it's not a bad place to live, assuming you have a good skill set that is marketable here. Like, as a diesel mechanic, I can get a job pretty darn quick. I was offered another job a few weeks ago. But I've got a better one, so I wasn't going to leave it for that. So that's about it. Later.